Okay, so here's what I'm saying. Welcome to Paulidarity Forever. First of all, I would like to welcome you all here. Thank you for being here. Thank you for taking the time to take notes and for helping me create this really magical idea in Paulidarity with the McElroy brothers and Tim and Guy.
The worst idea ever.
The worst fucking idea ever.
The worst idea of all time.
The worst idea of all time. So there's a podcast called Till Death Do Us Blart, and it is my favorite concept for a podcast ever, except for maybe the McElroy brothers will be in Trolls 2. And because I am an appreciator of them, and I have a bunch of friends who are also appreciators of them, I pitched this idea for a very dumb pun that I had, because I've heard the McElroy brothers now complaining, along with Tim and Guy, for a few years about how they're doing a podcast called Till Death Do Us Blart that they have to do every single year for the rest of their lives until they die, and no one's doing it with them. And so in Paulidarity with them, and also to get famous, we are
on the coattails of Kevin
in the spirit
James.
of the McElroy brothers, and in Paulidarity with the Till Death Do Us Blart podcast, we are here to begin our tenure reviewing the 2016 episode of the podcast Till Death Do Us Blart.
When you say tenure, it sounds like really kind of serious and important.
Yeah, I sort of like a little bit of a high there when you said that.
I feel like I
as
have
if I sort of,
I felt a little bit of a high when I said
Yeah.
it too, because I think it's important. This is a big, because we're now doubling up the Paul Blart Mall Cop 2 related podcasting yearly content.
We're what's keeping them in check.
Exactly.
I'm glad you said related and not just flat, because we're not all about Paul Blart Mall Cop 2. That's
No, it's sort of an
we're
ancillary
largely
sort of
about the
thing.
McElroy brothers and Tim Batt and Guy Montgomery. We are here to talk
Till
about
Death Do Us Blart 2016. Right?
yes,
That's
the podcast
wrinkle.
episode. Yes,
I do have an
lot of
important
wrinkles.
question to posit first, because the people running Death to Us Blart had not. Some of them had not seen Paul Blart Mall Cop 2 before then, and I think all of them haven't seen Paul Blart Mall Cop 1. So I want to ask.
So let's do an icebreaker. We'll all go around and we'll say our name, our favorite Paul no
Our favorite one of the 5 people on Till Death Do Us Blart.
No, that's not fair.
How about we just say
That's
like,
not fair.
We'll all say our name and
like
what letter of Paul Blart's name we identify with.
Okay, that's I think a
like
good
that.
idea.
I
So
like
we'll say
that.
our name, what letter of Paul Blart's name we identify with personally. You cannot pick the same one as someone else unless that letter doubles up. Like A doubles up for sure. And then you're also going to say what your experience with Paul Blart and your experience with Till Death Do Us Blart is.
that
Yes.
sounds good. Yeah.
And so
love
I'll go
this.
first just to break the ice on the icebreaker. I am Aiden Kinsella. I really identify, I think I identify with the B in the word Blart, and I think it's because it just comes in hard. Like it really, you get Paul Blart, like it's like you kind of, you see that B and you know that B's there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
No,
you see that Aiden.
I really,
You see that be like Aiden, and you know that Aiden's
Yeah.
there.
like, because
Mhm.
Aiden is the beginning of your name.
And I'm
That-
also like
yeah.
pollinating all the time.
Of course.
That's like a bee thing.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
sexy.
What
Yeah.
is pollinating? Because I don't really fully understand what metaphor I just made about my body.
With
you guys
fucking
want me to go
flowers.
into
It's
it? 'Cause
fucking
I can-
flowers,
So
my
what
guy.
Because I don't
What
know
you're
if
saying
pollinating is when
is-
is honey bee cum, or is pollination bee cum, or
No,
is
okay, so
pollination when the bees stick their
pollination-
legs in the powder and
Yeah,
they
no,
put their powdery
basically-
legs in the other flowers?
Honey is
Basically what you're saying is-
pre-digested sugars that are delivered via, I mean, it's different with different pollinators, but for bees, I think it's their lower legs cover up with stuff, and then
Yeah, it's
it's
the
converted, and then
they
lots of insects do it. Some birds too.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
natural
What-
pollinators, and then there's like the European honeybee, which obviously is from Europe. Yeah. I don't know which are the
Well, that's
ones
the
that are
Scientific
disappearing.
answer.
Is it all of them? Some of them?
Jeff, I do feel like we've gotten slightly off track. Alex and Kai both have points to raise. I'm going to jump to Alex because Alex tried to start talking, I think, a little before Kai did, but I do want to hear both of your points. So, and then I'm going to quick finish with my Blart experience, and then we'll move on.
No, all I was gonna say is that basically, like, I mean, thank you for the scientific answer, but you just walk outside, and pollen sticks to you from one flower to the next.
I mean, yeah, I do. Alex is
impregnate
sort of
flowers.
just describing what I do, so
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if that was like what the
No,
bees
that's all
were
I was.
doing. Or...
You just
Oh,
impregnated the flower
okay.
impregnator.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm glad
Alex
it's a real
Alex
is
big
cool with me. So
fire.
Alex is sitting in my room right now. He's just providing some insight for you guys.
Yeah.
I'm glad he's
Excellent.
there
Oh, hey.
with you to tell us how you're pollinating. It's a mostly
Yeah, he's doing
walking.
it as we speak, actually.
Oh
Big
yeah,
mood.
I'm actually just getting ready right now, and I'm going to have to go outside and finish the pollination in a few minutes. So
Yeah, he's gonna leave me here with you guys.
Yeah.
All right,
Just
cool.
I'll let you guys know when I got to go for that. Kai, what were you going to say? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was just talking about like why the bees are disappearing. Like the bees.
Oh yeah, no.
are,
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, it's a real problem. There's like these parasites that get on the bees and sort of really just ruin their day. It's just a problem for basically like all bees,
And
not
because
just
bees live
European
for like
ones.
24 hours, so that ruins like their whole life.
Yeah.
Bitch.
And so it's actually kind of interesting. Is like they haven't really made these parasites haven't made it to Australia yet. But we still have issues of like bee species going extinct because we have the European bees over here, but they are competing all the native bees, which is not great for diversity. It's just
Immigrants.
yeah.
I hope the
Sorry to bring
native
it down,
bees
guys.
around the
Immigrant
world.
bees.
Wait, sorry, they're competing over native bees?
I hope these
Yeah.
native bees are more robust and able to fight off the parasite, because that'd be kind of cool.
Well,
if
the
they were-
Australians should give all the confiscated guns to the native bees to protect themselves, is what I'm thinking.
Okay, yeah.
I'm also thinking that the parasite seems kind of like the pollen that sticks to the legs, and how do we know there's any difference? Maybe it's just special pollen and it goes to different flowers, and the bees haven't figured it out yet. And
I
if they don't
mean-
make it to those flowers fast enough, the parasites kill them as punishment.
Jesus,
Murder
this is gonna be a
pollen.
long podcast.
Well, no, I think we'll be fine.
It's just
No,
not.
it's
Blart
murder
experience.
pollen.
Go.
It's a bioweapon.
Okay, my
for
Blart
bees.
experience is. I need to talk about my
yeah, no,
Blart
we're gonna be
experience.
here for the whole time, and then at
Listen.
the end of the podcast, we can be like, oh
man,
yeah.
were we supposed to review something?
We have to get
I-
more than an hour 33 so we can beat Till Death Do Us Blart 2016.
And
Oh,
how
I thought it-
33 and 23 seconds.
I thought it was an hour 35.
Sure, man. We will
Shit,
soar
we ought to check.
past that.
we could
We'll
just
just
Is this a
destroy that
competition
record.
with that episode?
Yes.
I think
Yeah.
I think it's in Paulidarity with that episode actually.
I thought it was in Paulidarity. I didn't think it was a competition,
Yeah,
but I
it-
kind of like that.
it's in
beat where it's just
Paulidarity?
sort of like there's a bit of a cognitive dissonance. But
It's in
friendly
Paulidarity,
sport
but
team.
like
lower score wins.
we have to know that we're still better than them. You know?
we have to know we're still better than them. That's
Yeah.
fair. I mean, we're talking about saving
they
the
also
bees.
have
They
to
didn't
know.
bother to take the time to do that.
No.
They also
sure
have to
didn't.
know we're better, because then what's the point?
Yeah, what's the point otherwise if they don't hear this and know that we're better than them because of it? What's the point?
Yeah.
All right, Baden,
Um,
what's your Blair spirit?
My
Blart
Blair
experience.
experience is I've seen about the first 45 minutes of Paul Blart 1 in, I think, 6th grade in health class around this winter time of year. Because, and I think that was the only class that we didn't watch the movie Elf in. Made sure to watch the first 45 minutes of the movie Elf in all the other periods of the class of other classes over and over again, because none of the teachers coordinated. Anyway, that's sort of my experience with the movie series of Blart. I never saw Paul Blart Mall Cop 2. I do know that I have listened to every episode, though, of Till Death Do Us Blart, and I have listened to Till Death Do Us Blart 2016 now twice and taken notes on it this one time. So that's my Blart experience. Can I hand it off to whoever wants to speak next?
I will take it next. Absolutely.
AJ, take it.
My name is AJ. Pronouns he, she, they.
AJ.
Hi, AJ.
Hello.
the letter that I associate myself most in Paul Blart, I think, is the letter U. And why is that? Because guess who I love? You.
Aww.
Can we get snaps for AJ?
Thank you. I feed off of your feeding my ego.
I feed off of your encouragement.
Exactly. So, experience with Blarts. I've never watched a single Blart. Not one, not two,
any.
not neither.
We are in the presence of a master.
Probably a good
I
call,
have
let's be real.
also never listened to Till Death Do Us Blart until today.
Oh.
Have you listened? What?
How dare you?
Because I didn't want to associate anything with Blart, but I loved this idea and I wanted to do it very badly.
That's
Oh my
But
god!
how
I
much
can't.
you
I
lost your shit.
cannot believe that is. Wow.
I can't believe that you have only listened to this today. That's really irresponsible.
Yeah,
but
no,
also,
that-
it's very funny because you were the one who like blew up at the idea when I pitched it in the chat. I was like,
Mhm.
guys,
And then-
what do you think? And
The
then
thing
AJ
is
was
that
like,
I do
"Fuck,
also
yeah."
very much like the idea that I'm only ever going to hear this one.
Yes, that's me too. I just listened to it last night for fun, this morning for notes. I'm into it. I
So you
can't
had
wait.
not listened to Till Death Do Us Blart either, Jeff?
No, so I'm really stoked that
Oh.
myself and AJ will have a similar bond over the years.
I can't believe you two.
No, yeah, I can't believe you would like
That's,
that. Boggles my mind that you've never. Yeah,
I'm
Alex, do you wanna
surprised
go?
too.
I'll go next.
Alex is gonna go now.
Yeah, so I'm Alex. I identify with the L in Blart just because it's super straight until you capitalize it. And my Blart experience is that I think I've seen Paul Blart Mall Cop 1, and I don't know if I've seen number 2, and I haven't listened to Paul Blart the podcast
Till
since
Death Do Us
today.
Blart.
Yeah, Death Do Us Blart. No, I've only heard it today. I actually found out about it today. And this podcast.
So yeah, I was thinking, and Alex, I can't believe you.
I can't believe me either. Yeah, I was giving you guys shit for it, but I'm in the same boat. I just wanted to feel better.
Yeah,
Well,
sometimes
part of this
I
is
like
gonna
to give
be a
people
cult-
shit to make myself feel better.
I think part of this is going to be a cultural exchange in which Aiden and Kai are able to reach down from on high and like give us kind of the shared wisdom and the like broader world building.
Sort of exchange the
So-
Blart,
Yeah.
Honestly, right? It is an exchange of Blart, and I think that this makes me even more feel. It makes me feel more compelled to go back and listen to the other episodes of Till Death Do Us Blart some more, just for more context. But I think every episode so far has been a real banger. Episode 5 was certainly powerful. That was the one that came out in 2019. So I'm living for that.
Real quick question.
Yeah, go for it. What's
This
up?
is completely actually related. If you have to fart during this podcast, is it a Blart fart?
It is completely related. That's true. I
Mhm,
don't know,
mhm.
guys. Let's bring it to the table.
I think it's called a flart.
It is called a flart.
Flart. I'm hearing a
I-
flart.
Aiden, you must have been in the bathroom during that part of the meeting, but it is a flart.
We could reconsider
Okay.
it though. It could just be a Blart, just for
It
the
could just be a Blart.
simplicity of it.
But that
yeah.
feels
That's how
more
they actually
like
named his name.
that feels more like you filled up your diaper a little bit.
Yeah. Sort of got an onomatopoeia sort of thing going, doesn't it?
Okay, Jeff, do you want to introduce yourself? And then
Hell
we'll go to
yeah.
Kai.
Introduce yourself.
Yes, my name is Jeff Richardson. Friends call me Hefe. My letter. So, this is my brand. I'm going full on spontaneous, no preparation. I'm looking at the board, and I see A. Like
Which A?
how the fawn says A.
No.
And then he's
No,
like,
no. In
Which-
Paul Blart.
The first or the second A?
Oh, the first or the second A in Paul's name.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yeah.
check this out. This is how me and Alex have a meeting of the minds. We have letters in both words, and that's pretty tight. And so because I'm number one always in all things, I'm gonna take that number one A.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
So you're the Alex, do you want to be the L in Blart just to even it out? Maybe come stand next to me.
I'd never specified. So yeah, just to combat you, because I'm number one, I'm gonna take the second L in Blart.
Because you won the first game.
Yeah.
So you're only taking the second L. You
Yeah.
already have one victory.
He is taking one L though.
He is taking one L, but no one else has taken more than one V either.
And the Russian judge has had this insight, which is that in the second name, the L does come before the A, so it is number one of word 2.
Ooh.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, wow.
Precisely.
Russian judge. Nice. Thank you.
What I
Russian
do
judge.
like about this is that no one can take a W.
That's no. What I'm thinking is that why are we taking a W? Why don't we just say taking the V is what I'm saying. I'm sitting here and I'm just wondering why we don't say taking the V.
I don't know where these letters are coming
Victory. W would be
Aiden,
win, V is
Aiden.
victory.
There's
Kai,
no,
what's up?
there's no V in the name.
Here's the
No.
thing. Hold on.
Oh, there is no V in the name. That's a good point.
Yeah.
No W.
There's no V in the name.
But check
at all.
this
It's just
out.
that-
No, I know. You're
Check-
right. You're fucking right.
Hey,
I'm
Jeff,
an
there's,
idiot.
there's no W
Yeah,
as well.
I'm sorry.
There's no
Check it out,
W.
check it.
There's no
There's
W
also
either.
no V, but dig this.
Say it
Paw
with a lisp.
Blart Mall Cat 2.
from.
Paw Blart Mall Cat. I was.
It's like the shittier Airbud movies.
There's nothing that says a cat can't be a mall cop.
Those are already pretty shitty. That's pretty like impressive if you make a worse movie than the
How
Airbud
would a
movies.
cat ride a Segway?
Badly.
I don't know.
Kai, please introduce yourself.
No, but it's gonna be
Oh, wait.
somebody. It's gonna be one of the cast members from Cats the movie.
Oh, that's good. That's
as
a deep
Paw
cut.
Blart. No, I didn't say my Blart experience.
Jeff needs to share his Blart experience, please.
Okay.
I have always been afraid of Paul Blart. I looked at him from afar, from the clips and
He
the
is a
posters,
big man.
and I was like, I liked Hitch Kevin James. Didn't like that King of Queens. You know, it's like every once in a while you want, I don't know, a pastry of some like eclair, right? I'll have one every 5 years or whatever. So
What?
instead of being an aficionado of Kevin
clearly
James,
not a cop.
I'm kind of a James hater generally in my snobby fashion. And so I haven't seen any of the movies. I stayed away. Like AJ, I stayed away from Till Death Do Us Blart because I thought I wouldn't understand it. And so this is a big step for me. I'm taking the plunge. Maybe next time I'll do Fast and Furiouses, but this time it's all about Paw Blart Mall Cat 2.
I want to point out that the L comes before the U in plunge.
It's good to
Kai,
know.
you're up.
All right. So my name's
right.
Kai, and I
I'm confused about
identified
that.
with the first L in the name Paul.
Wow. Okay.
Wow,
mhm.
okay.
Well, no,
We would do that.
I was picking this from the very start. This was what I was going for. I was really when
Okay.
Okay, so
Um,
this is
Jeff-
this is like a Switzerland
authentic.
choice.
yes. Yes, I was really worried when you were picking which L that you were going to try to take mine because I wouldn't be able to take it. But no, you left me the one I wanted.
No, I'm glad you got yours. That's good.
Yes. And I chose that L because it's as an L, it is long and skinny, just like myself.
I like it.
Aw.
Very nice.
And
Very
bent
nice.
I agree.
at one
Eloquent. Eloquent.
Oh,
Easy.
okay.
Yeah. That's
Actually,
Alright.
I chose L because when it's uppercase, that's the position in which I sleep.
So you're changing your reason, Alex.
yeah.
It's for two reasons.
Oh, it's for two
Aiden,
reasons.
Yeah, no.
Baden, this show
Seems convenient. What's up?
is about busting the molds, breaking the rules, going off
Yeah, it is.
script. You want two
Mhm.
reasons for a thing? Motherfucker, you get two reasons. Yes.
That's fucking right. I'm
Sounds fair.
here to
Yeah, I already know.
bring you. I brought Alex into my room specifically because I knew he'd be a fresh pair of eyes on the whole thing. I did not know I was getting other fresh pairs of eyes on the whole thing.
I thought
feel
you
like
brought
I
me
should
in-
have like texted Kim Metzger or something.
Oh dear
Like-
God, yes.
I thought you brought me in to wait while you pollinate.
Oh shit, you're right.
Yeah.
I also did do that. Okay, I do need to be right back.
Aye.
Hey guys, I'll be filling in for Aiden while he's pollinating.
Okay.
Oh, he's actually
Yeah. He's going.
okay. Well, at first this was a joke.
Wait.
Now
Nobody
you know?
picked P.
Pants off because that's where the leg hair is.
Oh, nobody picked P.
Oh, we missed it. All right, so I guess I'll
It's
share
almost
my.
like we missed it on purpose.
Okay, so Aiden is actually pollinating.
Yeah, I guess. While he's out, I'll share my experience.
Kai,
So I just have
we
to
should
fill
have
him in
Aiden.
later.
Yeah, we should have Aiden here while you get introduced. So I'm gonna go get some water, and I'll be right back.
Okay.
Were we not all introduced?
No, I still haven't done my experience
Oh yeah, shit.
with Paul Blart.
I keep missing that step.
Yeah. I was just going to do it while, like, Aiden was pollinating, because, like,
Yeah.
the show must go on, but I guess not. I guess the show's done.
You know what? Aiden's probably going to edit this at some point, or someone will, who hasn't. One of the people who's not here. So we should say something that will surprise them.
Yeah. What were you
Yeah.
thinking?
Well, I actually wanted to make it a special surprise for you guys to say it. Oh, he's back. It's not a surprise.
Piss.
Oh.
I got
So
it
he
in.
pollinated.
I got it in.
No, I didn't. I forgot the pollen. I need to come back and get that. Just,
Aiden, why are your pants down again?
Oh, man.
Oh.
Sorry, I do this during our improv shows a lot.
I bet.
Yeah, no, it's a real problem actually. Like, if we could have a sidebar right now, it does make me a little uncomfortable every time he pulls them down. It's like every Tuesday night when we have a show, they're just off at the start. We don't, in fact, at first we introduced the show and then they were off, and now he just doesn't even take the liberty of putting them on.
He's
around
just
his
getting
episode.
comfortable in the space, you know? It's
McNapier's skin prof.
it's where he
I'm
lives.
not close enough to the microphone for that to have sounded very good. But
Skin
it's
prof.
pollinate now. It is past 8:57, and so no longer the flowers are gonna fucking all die, and it's my fault.
Yep. Yeah. Well, at least the pants are on now. That's
Well,
Well, this whole conversation is going to be like just me responding because you're not next to the microphone.
no, I mean that's fine. That's one of my favorite things to do on podcasts when my co-hosts get up and they say for me to wait, and instead of waiting, I just keep podcasting.
I can hear it. It's very good.
Yeah,
It'll
we
catch
can
on
hear
the-
you. Yeah.
Monologuing. Where's my
It's-
headphones? I still can't hear anything anyone's saying except for Alex. Okay, hi, I
Oh,
can hear
right.
you guys now.
We
Damn
could
it, I
hear
was
you
going to
from
say
across the
bastard
room,
without you
like-
hearing me.
We could have said something. Oh, no, wait. That's not how that works.
Oh, I did.
Oh, that was a long,
I did it.
long bit.
Jeff has just gone for a
My
drink.
pants
so-
were off, so sometimes
No, his,
that'll
his
happen.
I don't. You
It's-
probably saw it, but they were actually down.
Yeah, no, I saw it.
Yeah, okay.
I was wearing a coat. It's fine. Long coat.
Long
and
coat.
underwear.
Short
it's fine.
boxers.
Yeah, Kai, what's your Blart experience? So
What's
now that
my
I've
Blart experience?
pollinated
So
or
the year-
unsuccessfully.
No, I'm sorry, you pronounced that wrong. It's Blart experience.
Blart experience. My Blart
Blart
experience.
thank
The year was 2011.
Jeff, he is he's Australian. They pronounce things differently over there. Okay, thank you.
That's right.
It's
Blart
2011.
Their slang term for Blart experience
I actually
is
have a note
Blart
about that.
experience.
2011 was it?
The year was 2011.
Sorry, 2011. A Blart
It was
Odyssey.
it was one of my good friends' birthday party, and we had like a sleepover. And after like playing a lot of soccer and FIFA, he was very into soccer and FIFA. We all sat down to watch two movies back to back. First was the first Paul Blart Mall Cop, and I must say it was in that context a reasonably good film. We then watched the movie New Tricks.
Wait, can I guess? Oh shit!
Or was it Old Dogs? It's called Old Dogs. New Tricks is the other is the show about the
You
detectives.
can guess.
Wait,
I only remember there's a scene where penguins attack people, and it's marginally funny.
Hey, what the fuck?
That was a worse film. It was a terrible
that's
film.
the Morgan Freeman movie, March of the Penguins, right? Like
Somebody falls in a penguin enclosure in the zoo, and they try to kill him.
Oh, that's Happy Feet.
What the F? Yo, I understand if a movie maker maybe in the 90s got the Brontosaurus situation wrong, but like
that Surf's Up.
there is plenty of actual footage of penguins not attacking people.
And
Kind of a
here's the
weird
thing.
choice.
Here's the thing.
I'm really tired of all of this penguin villainy or villainizing that we're seeing in the media. Like,
And Jeff, you might be interested to know Brontosaurus. They're a thing again.
Brontosaurus are a thing
really?
again. They're bringing them back. Jeff.
Yeah, it's
This
true.
I thought they were
time,
just like
McDonald's
a
limited run.
I thought they were a post-fact Diplodocus.
What does that mean?
They were ahead of their time.
No, okay, so Brontosauruses were they were the wrong head on the wrong body of a dinosaur, so that was like just not a dinosaur that ever existed. But then some people are looking at now, and they've realized that like the skull they found, which they thought was an Apatosaurus, probably isn't actually from an Apatosaurus, and so we're asking ourselves like, well, what is it then? Oh, it's a new dinosaur. Well, I guess if it's a new dinosaur, we should just call it what it was originally named, a Brontosaurus.
Is it like similar looking?
Yeah, they're all sauropods, so they're pretty similar.
Okay.
Let me hit you with this. I am noticing a strong number of comparisons just between Blart-related happenings and the science of biology. This is fascinating to me.
I mean,
you guys who have very little Blart experience, what's this like for you?
Honestly, it's a lot to take in.
Okay, guys, I'm back into it. I'm so sorry.
It is all right.
Where were we?
I was explaining my Blart experience or whatever it was.
Oh, yes, your Blart experience and all of the parallels between biology and Paul Blart.
Yeah, I feel like it's more just the fact that you asked me to come on a podcast, and I'm shocked that you'd be surprised at it. But yeah, anyway.
I'm not really surprised at it. It's just more like I think that it's something we should dig into because I think that the McElroys and the people from The Worst Idea of All Time, Tim and Guy, do an excellent job of connecting their experience watching Paul Blart to their experience sort of moving through time and space. And I think that that what we're stumbling onto here with the bees and with the Brontosaurus is that and the cyclical time and all of that is that maybe Paul Blart is a very, very important movie. And maybe time travel, maybe we find out how to do time travel because of art that comes out of Blart. We hear
the
so
art
much
of the Blart.
Yeah, Blart art, art of the Blart.
Forever does go both ways.
Right? Well, think about it. So we have this movie that's created so much art at this point off of the movie, mostly because the movie's so terrible, is the sort of central thesis of that. We discover time travel because so many people complain about the movie so much that eventually, like, oh my God, it's the most offensive, upsetting piece of art that's caused the biggest reaction in all of history.
I see. And so people go back in time.
Undo Paul Blart Mall Cop 2.
What you're
sort of
suggesting is
sort of like a Kill
like
Hitler
Hitchhiker's-
situation.
It's like a Kill Hitler situation.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I was thinking of it more
Which
like...
is even better because they just love destroying art the Nazis did.
Oh, good
The
connection.
Nazis rounded up Blart and destroyed Paul Blart Mall Cop 2, the movie.
There might have been a few Blart, but I think a lot of really good art as well.
Yeah.
But there were probably a few Precious Moments dolls in there and such.
And speaking of art,
We are so off topic
Yeah,
of the original pitch of the show. So let's get back on target. We are doing Mission Paulidarity. And we're supposed to be reviewing the 2016 episode of Till Death Do Us Blart. And I think that what we have just done is we've given our listeners, no matter where they're coming from, a strong understanding of what our connection to the material is and what we're about to be talking about. Let's really get into it.
Yes, because I don't think any of us actually saw Paul Blart Mall Cop 2, because I saw the first one.
Not at
I
all.
think so.
Yeah.
So we're certainly not qualified to talk about it, but we all
Absolutely.
have listened to Paul Blart Mall Cop 2 review podcast, second episode, Till Death Do Us Blart. Jeff has a lot of notes.
I have 10 pages of notes,
Yes.
full...
Oh, yours are typed.
It's the first 3 pages, and then I was away from... It doesn't matter.
I may have exactly 0 pages of notes, but that's
So
okay.
I
I have
have a
one-
chronological timeline of Till Death Do Us Blart 2016. So anytime you guys want to travel along the journey that I had,
time travel.
let me know.
That's really good.
This is
I
the
have,
start of figuring out time travel from the movie.
This is totally the start
You've
of
literally
it. Paul
started
Blart Mall Cop 2 is going to lead to time travel, is what I'm saying. I'm making the call right now. And it is because of Till Death Do Us Blart that is what's going to happen. And maybe because of us that that people will realize that that's what's going to happen. And now we are part of time travel history until someone comes back and erases us.
I also
that's
have
always a
extensive
risk.
notes in like a stream of consciousness sense.
AJ,
Sorry, what?
you have extensive notes. So you went more like Slaughterhouse-5 with it, where you like go back and forth?
It was just not so much like a chronological thing, so much as if I had a thought, I just kind of like blurted it onto this note app.
Blarted.
Same.
Blarted it.
Oh,
You're
you
right.
blarted it. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes.
I blurted everything I wrote down.
Yeah, I blarted out 11 pages of handwritten notes.
I have 2.
It is very stream of consciousness. There's lots of arrows and stars connecting things and thoughts mixed in with quotes that are, some of them are paraphrases and whatever.
Did anyone
really didn't
do a
expect
wall board with the red?
Sorry, what?
I really
Did
didn't
anyone
expect to
do
be the
a-
only one
a-
who didn't.
First Kai, then Jeff.
Never let him say his thoughts.
I really didn't expect to be the only one who didn't take any notes.
It's okay, Kai, because you have the advantage of having listened to all of the Till Death Do Us Blarts.
I listened to the first 2.
Oh, you only listened to the
I
first
listen-
2. I'm so sorry.
I
I
listened
have a
in
huge advantage
2016.
on this podcast, and
I
I've
listened
surrounded
to
myself with
The
imbeciles.
first and second episode, and then yesterday I listened to the 2016 episode again.
That's valid.
Yeah.
That's good. No, actually, though, to be fair, I think that this is the best way to do it, because knowing that you guys have that hyper focus on the content and the quality of the second episode makes me feel more comfortable talking in this space.
Good.
And as we said before, you two can fold in some of that episode 1 stank as needed to give us.
Well,
the
I have
lore.
episode 3, 4, and 5 stank too. Like
bring
I love Till Death Do Us Blart. It
He
is
got a
podcast
stanky
I'm
boy.
conceptually obsessed with.
You're also assuming I remember anything from the first episode, given that I saw it now 3 years ago.
I think that I don't remember much. I think the first and the second episode were largely the same podcast.
Yeah, that's one thing I remember. Like, I remember feeling coming out of the second episode back in 2016. I remember feeling like that's the same kind of thing. I wonder how this is going to progress. I look forward to listening to it next year.
I really enjoyed. So, if it helps for any context, in the third one, Griffin finally decides to watch Paul Blart Mall Cop 2 alongside the Dark Side of the Moon's album that he plays through it twice with the movie. And so that's like, after the first 2 watches, Griffin is broken. He watches it with subtitles on and no volume. And notices some fun things connected to the Shadow Man and whatnot, but we're getting so ahead of ourselves.
Yes.
So that's basically the whole of episode 3 stank, is they're talking about how it syncs up with Dark Side of the Moon, which is
Aiden?
like a funny bit.
Aiden,
What's up?
I love that you just gave us a tiny bit of foreshadowing, a little Chekhov's gun there right at the start.
Exactly.
Some foreshadowing from 2017.
Unfortunately, we will never get that far because we are only in 2016.
Nope, that's not true. I have a chronological timeline. Okay, nobody died in 2016. That was part of it.
I mean, a lot of people died in 2016. They made a big point about how a lot of people died.
Fair, they did also mention that. Okay, so here, let's do a little bit of chronological work. We've laid out some of the groundwork. We've done some foreshadowing, some Chekhov's gunning. That just like in spirit of Paul Blart Mall Cop 2, Chekhov's gun that's never going to fire. So the something that the McElroy brothers and Tim and Guy do an excellent job of exploring in really every episode of Till Death Do Us Blart is sort of just all of the Chekhov's guns that never go off, which is what the show is.
I would like to say very quickly, my first 2 notes are, this theme song slaps so goddamn hard, followed immediately by, this theme song goes on a while, don't it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm going to hit you with my note about the theme song, which is my first note. Theme song about light at the end of the tunnel. A little early to see that, question mark?
Yeah. Especially when there is no light at the tunnel, the only release is death.
No, the only release is death. And so I guess there's some real fun irony to that too. And maybe that is what they were playing with. But this year in the 2015 or the 2019, Jesus, what am I saying? I was thinking the fifth one. In the fifth one in 2019, they chose a theme song that is about how long of a way down it is to the bottom of the river, and it's done in like minor key chant, and it's fucking awesome. And I added it to my phone playlist like immediately. Or just, not just, I said my phone playlist, just sort of my music library is what that's
Please
called.
tell me this is Delta Ray.
You know what's great though?
What's up?
What's great is that
it is Delta Ray, bottom of the river.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
it's great because you said that death is the only release, and at the beginning, like in the first 2 or 3 minutes of the podcast, I wrote Stuart Wellington will become important, which is obviously the successor to one of the
It was Travis's successor.
Yeah,
so Stuart
successor.
Wellington will become important. Stuart Wellington is Travis's successor.
And I made a joke.
Are you gonna kill Travis?
Well, here's the thing though. I made a joke to Aiden is that if we kill both of them, there will be a spot open because he hasn't chosen another successor.
Interesting. Though Stuart Wellington may have chosen successor for himself, though he just hasn't aired it on the podcast.
Stuart Wellington sends Travis care packages in order to never have to ever take over.
Yeah, and
So
no,
Travis will stay
that's
alive.
the thing.
I'd like to get into that beef because
Okay, let Alex finish with one note, and then we'll jump to you, AJ. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, so like that was the first tip off, and then so over the course of the whole episode, I was like, wow, I could really like be on this if I kill them both off. And then like by the end, I was like, oh shit, I really don't want to do that. This is actually none of them enjoyed this. I would hate to watch Paul Blart Mall Cop 2.
I could see Alex, like his gears were turning. He was like, do I want this? Might
No,
be something I want.
At
He had
first, I
never
knew
thought
I
about
wanted
killing
it.
a man before, and then I saw your eyes light up, but then your gears started to turn, right? Like you started to think,
And then I was like, oh shit, this would be the worst decision of my life.
it's a long way down to the bottom of the
Not
river,
only,
Alex.
it's not because I would kill a man or two, it's because I would have to watch Paul Blart. And having to do that from a jail cell, nonetheless, would be even harder.
fair.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if they let you
That's actually the only movie they have in jail is Paul Blart Mall Cop 2.
I
So
have
you
notes
have
on,
no
after
problems.
you go, I'm gonna have to talk about that because I have notes on that. Extensive notes.
Excellent. The note that I had was my first group discussion of the whole thing, which I want to talk about the beef that Guy brought up right after, saying it could be him trying to poison.
Oh no, Tim Batt said beef it. Never mind. You're
Okay, that's a note that I made also, saying I can't tell which one is which.
Yep, also made that
Are
note.
those the two Australian?
It's the two Australian ones. Tim and Guy.
Hang on one second.
Hi, if you were
They
on
are
the
not
podcast with them, I wouldn't be able to tell you apart either.
They are not Australian. They're from New Zealand. Do not get it conflated.
Yeah,
All
Guy
right,
and Tim are
so
from New Zealand.
anyway, my note was Tim does pose that Stork could be poisoning Travis. So which do you believe? Is he healing or poisoning?
What
Which
if
do we
Stuart?
I don't think he's
what if
healing, he's
Stuart
just prolonging.
was killed, and Travis, God forbid, and Alex was like, "Oh, I kind of don't want to do this, but I gotta step in. You know, I promised." And then he finds out that it just goes to the Speaker of the House, and he's fucked. And then how does he feel?
No, you know what? I feel like
actually goes to like the United States Speaker
no, I
of
feel
the
like
House.
more so
and
than that, it would become like a subcult of like what is that? Scientology? Because like once you're interested in them, they don't stop harassing you.
Mhm,
So like I feel like tomorrow I'm gonna wake up 10 text messages like, are you
like
interested?
Alexa heard
Yeah.
you and then emailed the at deathblart@gmail.com.
Yeah, I'm gonna have like 10
but they couldn't log
threats
in to
on my
see
phone.
it. So yeah, you know.
Travis McElroy and Stuart Wellington fake their own deaths, and now you're in. And they get to escape.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a care package at my door, and it's gonna be poison. But why? Wait, why would they poison me?
No, they want to keep you alive.
Yeah, no, they would keep me alive. Yeah, it would just be a regular care package.
Yeah,
then.
it'd be a regular
Full of
non-poison
vitamins
care
and
package.
healing potions.
AJ,
Oh my
AJ
God.
had something on this. What was it?
Yes.
On what?
On the death and replacement issue.
Hey,
Oh.
are we doing that?
My whole thing there is Stuart Wellington healing or poisoning Travis, but I do also have another topic of discussion about succession.
I'm not done on that thing, so can we not do that?
Yes.
Jeff, that's why we were confused, because AJ didn't have another thing.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Here's what I need to bring up in response to that. So we talked about all the people that died in 2016. Griffin mentions that he thinks he and Guy were going to beef it, and we were going to get like a Saved by the Bell new cast situation. A lot of fun new energy already at the second episode. Tim Batt was the one who used the phrase beef it. So I just thought it was, wanted to ask Kai, is beef it in New Zealand / Australia? Is that what they say over there instead of die?
Do you not say that ever?
Well, is that a big part of
I'm
the
saying,
lexicon?
is that just like the thing that you say?
It is a thing we say, but it's not like the only euphemism for death. Yeah, well,
okay,
no,
I say kick. I say bought it. I say left us, passed. What else?
We'll say all of those too and beef it.
Yeah.
I say adopted by God.
Ooh, that one's.
That is good. That is good.
I say
We don't say
poisoned
that
by
one.
Stuart Wellington.
So,
So
we
Griffin
should talk about
mentions
our
that
Body was
replacements.
repossessed.
Wait, we'll talk about that. Hold on a second.
Going
Hold on
back
a
to
second.
poison?
Because this is what I needed to get to. We mentioned Alex wanting to kill Travis and
At first.
Stuart Wellington at first.
No longer.
No longer. And then the Speaker of the House thing. I just wanted to point out that Griffin wanted Barack Hussein Obama. A lot of people forget the Hussein, but I think it's important.
Mhm.
The Griffin McElroy story. Griffin McElroy wanted Barack Hussein Obama to be his replacement on this episode of Till Death Do Us Blart. And his reasoning for that was that because Obama had been the president, he probably had some really good, smart opinions about Paul Blart Mall Cop 2. And I think that's a really good point. So I liked Jeff's idea about handing it over to the Speaker of the House, just sort of automatically if anyone can't get replaced by their automatic expected replacement. And I think for our podcast, maybe Jeff, now to go back to what you were saying, maybe we talk about our replacements. We follow that model. Speaker of the House, if we lose our replacement and ourselves to death before the next episode, Speaker of the House gets it.
And I propose that we do this Balderdash rules where you guys can kind of try to like criticize it or like challenge its validity. I'm going to go with President Barack Obama because
Do you guys realize
great
though?
choice.
Oh. I think you don't realize.
Jeff, we have a dangerous situation here, though, because what if between now and next year, both you and Griffin McElroy die? Now we're putting. He'd have to be in both
Speaker
podcasts.
of the House
and I don't
again.
think- I don't
Has
think I'd
changed
do
his
that.
replacement.
We actually have
Hold
an
on, I think
even more
Griffin's changed his
dangerous-
replacement. I think we're okay.
Oh, has he?
Okay.
I think so.
There's an even more dangerous situation.
What's the even more dangerous situation, Alex? I'm very
I don't think you guys realize
physically upset
that
by
we-
this. I'm scared.
Yeah, no, we have an opportunity to cheat death here. If
We do.
we do, but only one of us at a time. I am
Wait.
going to nominate one of you as my successor, and once I pass, you see, I see what. Yeah, you see where I'm going with this. Listen,
Whoa.
if I nominate one of you, and you pass first, you have to pass first. Then I pass. You have to come back and make another episode.
Oh.
I feel you. Let me do you
Beyond
one
the
better.
Great, you will have unfinished business, which is covering
Yeah.
Paul
Right.
Blart Mall Cop
Either that, or
2's,
you'll be stuck in limbo.
Yeah.
Well,
covering Till Death
and
Do Us
we
Blart
know,
2016.
according to jump a little bit ahead in their episode, but since this is an after the fact review, we can use hindsight.
Mhm.
We know that the God sent the Shadow Man to destroy Paul Blart's life as punishment for just being awful. And I think that God would send us back to Earth to fulfill this podcast in Paulidarity with Till Death Do Us Blart
No,
for their
change
good
it.
and for the importance of discovery of time travel.
No,
I
my
could be a
successor
spectre.
is God.
Right? I could be a Spectre for
Which
sure.
is why I
Oh,
want
Alex
to do
wants
this.
his successor to be God. I think
My-
that might be the
I
play.
just made it even. There are so many possibilities we haven't thought about. If my successor is God,
Wait, let's jump to AJ
yeah,
real quick because AJ's been trying to get a point in, and then we can go back to the God thing.
To your point of cheating death, I'll do you one better. My successor, Death. He doesn't want this heat. He'll never kill me.
Okay. so yeah, Death is just too busy with
That's a twist
killing
on
other
the
people.
if you kill Death, you have to become Death. That's a twist where if you kill yourself,
If you kill
Death
AJ,
has to watch
Death
Paul
has to
Blart Mall
become
Cop 2.
AJ. We should talk
No,
about
Death
it.
doesn't have to watch Paul Blart Mall Cop 2. Death has to listen to Till Death Do Us Blart 2016.
Which isn't a bad podcast, so it's not really a terrible fate. Let's be real. Like
We
this is
don't
actually
know
pretty
that
chill,
yet.
You know?
Next year we could feel a lot of daunting pressure to make it better, or maybe we had a stressful time.
But, like, let's be real.
Your
Like
journey.
Paul Blart. Let's be real. So Death Do Us Blart is a much better experience, I'm sure, than the movie. I haven't seen the movie, but I can only imagine. Podcast is pretty good. I feel happy with having to listen to this every year. I can live with that.
I feel like after the conversation we just had, we have to like put out some sort of a PSA. It's like, if there's anybody listening at home, any kid, actually fuck it, anybody at all, because some people are stupid listening, this doesn't actually work, so don't try it.
Oh, don't kill
So,
yourself to force Death to be on this podcast.
No.
Yeah,
Terrible
no,
idea.
don't do
Of
it.
course, it's really not that widespread of a concern since there's only 5 of us.
If there's anybody listening who this applies to, don't try it.
No. This
Which
applies to me. I would have done it.
Yeah, this applies to the 5 of us. So like,
Yeah,
like,
right. No,
really
if
just
they
speaking to
right,
us
that's my
now,
point.
yeah.
If any of you guys are listening to this part of it, don't.
I guess
do
it does
that.
also apply to the to the cast members of Till Death Do Us Blart, so they might be listening too. So we should, it's a good warning. I respect that.
I can't wait till Aiden gets to chime in on the reverse death curse. That is a good strategy. I think we should employ that if possible.
Well,
We'll have a
dibs, because
meeting
I called
after
it
this.
first.
Dibs.
Oh, you call your competition? Like I could be like,
I call
coming
choosing
for you,
Death as my
Zeus.
successor.
Well, yeah, as I was saying before, we can't pick the same person because what if we both die in the year? Then what happens?
Okay.
Yeah.
So that
Okay.
one's mine. I claim it.
So I get Barack Obama. What if he dies? Does it go to like a bingo?
In the event of
Ball
Barack
in the
Obama's
thing.
death, you just pick another one. That's how like succession works.
It's Michelle Obama, then obviously,
Of course.
Okay, I'll take some Michelle Obama. I'm into it.
or it's the vice president.
Mm. Oh, Joe. Is Aiden taking a leak or something?
I no. Well, he might be in his pants in the corner.
Ooh, he's blarting it.
I'm wearing pants.
In your pants.
I know, I'm just clarifying to them because they can't see me.
I mean, we couldn't see you when you were sitting back down either. So
For the listeners who also can't see him, he is not wearing pants.
I'm sure we're not leaving this bit in.
None of us on this podcast are wearing pants. That's just part of it.
That's
Okay,
legally
so Jeff-
binding.
So Jeff
Wait, what?
replaced by Obama,
I just told you
AJ
guys I was
replaced
wearing
by
pants.
Death. Who else wants a replacement?
I'm busy.
Unless you're
I'll do that.
immortal, I don't want to judge.
I'm coming back.
I mean, I am, but like, how do you test it, really? So just to be on the safe side, I'm gonna pick Kermit the Frog.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Ah, yes. Ah, yes.
You know, just because I feel like he brings such joy to everything he does. I feel like he could be a really good part for this podcast. You know,
I agree. I'm happy for you.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Obviously voiced by a different person than before.
sorry, what?
Well, the voice has changed a little bit. Is that just him getting older?
Sure. Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
He's
Age changes your voice, and Kermit the Frog is very old.
Yeah. He's quite old.
kind
for
of
a
like
frog.
Yoda. He's been around a while.
Yeah.
No, I mean, not Baby Yoda.
Baby
Well, Baby
Yoda,
Yoda's not Yoda.
baby Yoda.
Did you say Baby Yoda's not real?
No, he's not the same Yoda.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we all know that. Like, yeah. I was thinking about Baby Yoda, but I thought I'll probably get someone who can talk. You know.
Fair.
Okay,
well, and
so
Kermit
Alex
the
had
Frog.
like
Hold on, Kermit the Frog is well known for being a huge fan of Till Death Do Us Blart 2016.
Obviously,
so I mean, it's a
yeah.
logical choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yes, absolutely, but only that episode.
Anybody else want to pick their replacement?
I think it's just you that's left.
I want to say who my pick would be.
So say.
Yeah, well, hold on, because I have to think of it first.
Oh, okay. Right.
Hold on. Okay, got it.
You didn't
So-
have 25 minutes to think.
No, it's okay. Because listen, I didn't realize that I'd missed it because no one ever asked me, and I'm so ADHD and I need help. I need to be kept track of.
Give me that
We also
pin.
probably should have asked him. Like, that's rude.
It's so rude, you guys. Oh my god. To be fair, I did walk out of the room and take my pants off and come back in like just true. Who Andy Kaufman maybe would do that? Who else?
So we did have like
Who is
the capacity for a
irreplaceable?
seamless break where nobody would even notice that we had those technical issues and we left and came back and all that, but apparently not.
No.
Who is the
I don't believe
proven-
in those, Kai.
Who is the highest level of quality performer that can match Aiden's energy and sexiness?
Well, there's this bee
You know,
that
who
I
would
saw
that
while I
be?
was pollinating yesterday, and she was beautiful.
That's a hot bee.
I
What up,
can't.
bee?
I can't.
Baby. Oh.
Can I vote for Aiden's successor to be the Colonel from KFC?
He's dead.
Well,
No,
we've
that's how we bring him
established
back. I
that
don't
doesn't
think you
matter.
understand.
He's a shapeshifter.
Well, skeleton
Reba McEntire
Colonel
for a hot
Sanders
minute.
is a bummer, but cartoon marketing creation is pretty dope. Walking around the
Yeah.
streets,
Laugh my ass off,
What?
guys. George just asked me how recording
made a
went.
television.
It's been 2 hours since we were supposed to start, and that's my fault. Hey guys,
Oh
Should
God.
we return back
Hey,
to
we're
notes?
we're 3
we're
minutes
at least
in.
3
at
minutes
least.
into the podcast.
At least.
If we
Let's return to the notes. Alex has
Yeah.
something he'd like to bring
well,
to the table.
I have lots of things, but specifically one thing that I had a point, and I can't decipher what this means.
Okay,
anymore.
good. That's the right thing to bring to the table.
Maybe this will inspire.
love
some
those. Those are the
conversation. It's talking about McElroy, and it says he knows the move, but everyone is proud that he does. So he knows the move, but everyone is proud that he does.
He knows the move.
I don't know what that means. It might be movie.
Maybe it's like a Pokemon
I
move,
think
you know,
Griffin
like
knows a lot of Pokemon moves for sure. So that
He sure do.
Oh,
I mean, he's
okay,
only
I
allowed to
have-
know
I have
4
something
though,
For real now.
so I think he's cheating.
Alex actually has something to say. I
got
love
a
how
game
we're
shop
just
or something.
filling airtime when we have so much shit to say. We just we can't figure our shit out. We can't.
I know.
So you remember?
So their first one came out before Thanksgiving, and the reason I know this is not because I listened to episode 2015, but because they talked about it on 2016. And there were earthquakes
wow.
and storms in New Zealand.
Which I had a note that said, do you think the 2016
That's a good
earthquakes in
question.
New Zealand are still happening?
Kai,
They are
can you
not.
check?
The world's largest tectonic plates.
So
You have the internet there, right?
That I can tell you they're not still happening, but not for the
Okay.
reason you think.
Whoa, wait. Can we go back to that?
Good to
we
know.
can't.
We have no time to get back to that. I've taken
It's a
my phone.
fucking BuzzFeed article. Kai's like working on his technique.
still happening? No, but not why you think.
Can I ask? Because I think there is really only one way for an earthquake to occur, which is tectonic plates rubbing and shifting.
Which is
So-
how Griffin wanted to be killed because of the fact that he had to watch Paul Blart Mall Cop 2 at
Yeah,
7 in the
so,
morning, which
okay,
I have a note about.
Forget whatever the fuck I was gonna say. I have a whole conspiracy theory about the movie. They have shown me, from what I've gathered from the podcast, it's that Paul Blart Mall Cop 2 can be used as a torture device.
I mean, where are you? I want
it
to hear
can.
more about
Yeah,
where
okay.
you think that, because
So-
you do have these fresh ears on it, and
I mean, hey, Beatles songs can be, you know.
yeah, that's fair if you use them correctly. Like, there is
Controversial,
that John
though.
Mulaney
That-
Salt and
that
Pepper
is
Diner bit that
controversial.
does teach you that anything can be torture.
Yeah.
I think it's important to point out that some torture is okay. It just depends on the method. So, that's bad using the Beatles, but
that's
using Paul Blart Mall Cop 2, actually a pretty fair proposition.
Which
I
is
think.
actually,
Because we wouldn't
No,
want to ruin the
but-
Beatles for anybody.
it's actually,
Right. But it's mostly about not giving them negative associations when they eventually get out of the torture chamber and want to enjoy some Beatles.
which is actually one of my next notes is let's talk about the pros and cons of Bart Lovian training a baby, which is basically what Travis is doing here. Yeah, I did say Bart Lovian. Paul Lovian. You know what?
Would
that
have been
one's
funnier
better.
if you said Paul Lovian.
Paul Lovian.
It's got a
Okay,
real,
so I want to
Pavlov's
address this
dog
because that
kinda
actually connects to
situation.
something that.
Whoa! Pavlov's dogs.
That's what we were getting at here. Thank you, Jeff.
Yes.
Pavlov's dogs. That's
Yes,
the
it's
store
all
I'm
right.
going to open. Never mind.
Jeff, that was the joke.
It was
not
Pavlovian.
really.
It's a little
It was
different. Pavlovian is a funny name. Pavlov's dogs is a cool
Okay,
store.
but where does
where you
Pavlov
get
come into
dogs.
that store? I think
Fair.
is where we're lost.
Okay.
You walk
through
in,
the front door,
rings.
obviously.
Oh, okay, I see it. Okay, that's very funny.
Mhm.
So let me hit you with
immediately
this.
get service.
In response to what AJ was
Sometimes
saying
it's
about
really bad because it's a weird test.
Pavlovian training BB, who is Travis's daughter, which was that the premise there was that Travis was saying, and this is I believe to be true because it sounds like in character. His daughter's first movie was Paul Blart Mall Cop 2, and his daughter was like a baby at this point, but they spent a number of minutes on the podcast exploring the idea that this choice made by Travis was going to lead to a sort of a series of reckless future choices that he is going to make with his child, and that are sort of Blart related to create a new generation of human beings. And
I'm glad you brought this up, Aiden.
Wait, can I
have a lot
finish
of
my
notes
point
on
really,
this.
really quick,
Oh,
please?
yeah.
Sorry. Travis spends a lot of the first part of this episode and a number of, in every episode, I think he does a nice job of hitting this, and he hits it well and then leaves it alone once he's made enough jokes about it. So this is just part of the review part of our show. He does a really nice job of playing the game or the pattern of behavior of I love Paul Blart Mall Cop 2 more than my family. And it's really funny, and he does it a lot.
Because he talks about like his wife like going
Going
off to
to lay
do
in
the
the bed
dishes
with
and
the
stuff
baby.
as well.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, yes.
I really liked
Yes,
when
that
it
was
was
the
either
instead
guy
of
or
watching the
Tom
film.
jumped
Go to lay in
in.
bed with the baby.
yeah.
Yeah, well, that ties into the point I had earlier.
Oh, yeah, it does. You're right. No one was denying that, Alex.
Guy,
No, I know,
Yeah.
because you can't. You can't. Their entire show is just
Someone please review this podcast.
it's all connected, baby. So,
This is what I was getting at with the Bart Lovian training, the Pavlovian training, is that it can be used as torture.
yeah, that's true.
Can I point out though that I think the same dude who tried to brainwash his kid into thinking that Paul Blart Mall Cop was the best movie ever made, or actually the only movie ever made, was
That was what they were doing. It was that Paul Blart
Blartizing.
was
Yeah.
the only.
It's called Blartizing.
All films now have to be made in the
Yep.
tradition of Paul Blart Mall Cop 2.
yeah.
This
He
is
was
how
also,
the lighting
But
works.
One
This
of the
is-
New
Well,
Zealand
hold on.
guys, one
You think she knows
one
more
of the
movies?
Kiwis
And this-
mentioned that brainwashing your child to think that's the only movie is bad parenting, and I thought maybe we could chew on that a little bit.
on that.
you
Like
know.
one thing is then
that
they got into
something?
it, and the same guy who thought who may have agreed, I don't know, but the same guy was
There's two
concerned
groups
about,
of people on there that are generally agreed to sound
there-
exactly the same
yeah,
as each
no,
other.
there are.
Now, I don't think the McElroy brothers sound at all the same, and I think
Yeah.
that Tim and Guy, if I listen to them
I mean,
talk
they
anymore, I
don't.
can totally tell them apart.
Well, no, okay, but my point before, so I can get this in.
Two of them do.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
I think it's interesting how he's has blatant disregard for his own daughter.
Blarton.
Yeah,
Blarton.
but then when it talks about Paul Blart's
Blarton
daughter
disregard.
and leaving him in the movie, he is very concerned about that, which in and of itself is a concerning matter.
That's fair. You know, I did mention, I think he was playing game there, like improv game, hitting pattern, but maybe Travis really does love Paul Blart too more than his family. And I think that that's something we should address.
I think so too.
Maybe.
That's a tension, though, from what I
bet.
hear in every parent, pretty much, is that you love them when they're good and hate them when they're bad, and like You never know.
But you know what? I think
For example, those really important milestones in a child's life, you know, you don't know how it'll go.
there might be something even more here that we're not seeing, is that he does love Paul Blart Mall Cop so much that he wants his successor to be a family member, and he's trying to set that up from an early age.
So he doesn't think he's gonna die yet.
No, but
Because,
he knows he's gonna die someday, and he needs it to stay within the family.
That's fair.
Because I know Guy claims he's gonna live for at least another year at one point, and he refuses to name a replacement, which is I pointed out that was a strong move by Guy. And I think to Alex's point, if Travis doesn't, and I think Travis is someone who has a lot of self-confidence. If he doesn't think he's planning to die in the next couple of years, maybe he is trying to groom BB not as a Blart warrior, but as just someone to take his place on this podcast.
So just a question here. What you
Okay.
two are both positing is that the Stuart Wellington ploy is a ruse, and he is truly training BB.
We think that the Stuart Wellington thing is just so he can get the care packages from Stuart Wellington. I'm assuming. I mean, Alex and I do improv together. We read each other's minds, basically.
Yeah, no, it's
It's all connected.
They could.
but
It's all connected.
It might be poison, but
that just accelerates the process.
It's a risky move though, because they could be poisoned. So it's a bold claim.
The kid also pushes the blame off you.
Well,
You can
also
say,
Stuart
like, the
could be
kid dumped
sending it-
over the arsenic.
If
I don't know
Stuart's
what
sending
he
a
was doing
poison
there.
gift basket, when you send a gift basket to a man with a fam, you send, like some Skittles for the kiddles. Like you you have to, or you're a.
Stuart, why have you sent me?
Do you understand what I'm saying?
them a
like
little
if
taste.
their
Get
food
their
is
beak
being
wet.
poisoned, then BB's getting poisoned too. Maybe what
Oh,
Stuart
no.
is sending them isn't just something that's going to keep them healthier and alive, but it's something that's making them more susceptible to the
Right.
secretions of Paul Blart 2.
Like the Joker in Batman, the original Batman from 90 or whatever with Michael Keaton.
Well, we're assuming Stewart's in on it though.
The Joker in that created a thing where two products had to work together to like poison people, so they put it in all the cosmetics and shit. And so by the time he came in with the gas, everything was primed. It's like that, but in this case, the poison number 2 is Paul Blart Mall Cop 2. This is great.
There is no war in Bossing
There is
Say.
no war in Bossing Say.
What do you think about the fat shaming, the hypoglycemia thing? They talked about it.
I think it's
mean-
rude.
It's a thing that happened in the movie though. So
If it
like,
happened in the movie,
No,
it's
I meant
fine.
in the
I don't
movie,
think that's
not
really
on the
place
show.
to-
If it happened in Paul Blart Mall Cop 2, it's totally
No, I
okay
realize.
to do it in real life.
Yeah, I realize, but I don't think it's okay for like for us here to discuss.
No, I agree. I mean, that's just not.
contents
Yeah,
of the movie.
What
Like,
we
that's
might
why
want
I
to
brought
discuss
it
is,
up.
We're
if
overstepping
anything,
our
we would want to
bounds.
discuss how they handled discussing it. But I think they handled it with respectfully
True. Yeah.
and good. So
Yeah. Like they called it mean-spirited.
and making sure to call something mean spirited means you're doing your part, and that's I think they actually they kind of addressed why it was mean spirited as well.
It's also
and
a
if they
hard
didn't-
thing to
And-
get
and-
into
and-
the specifics and all that. I mean, it's
100%.
mostly bad. So yeah.
But they even talk more about that stuff, like going further into the show, like in 3, 4, 5. I think 3 and 4 especially is where they hit their first okay, this movie, we're really getting into it. And then 5, I felt like they had a lot of fun with it again. I think they had fun with it on 1. I think they had a lot of fun with it on 2. I think 3 they ended up having to make it fun, and 4 they were just depressed about it. Is what I remember.
Which one was the one we listened to? 2, didn't we?
We listened to 2. I
So,
think.
but
Yes.
can I point out by number 2 they were already drinking in order to get through the podcast.
Oh, one of them
Mhm,
took acid before watching the movie on the 5th one. I believe
That's
that was
a
good.
good
lovely.
gimmick. That's a good.
It was
hook
either
to
Tim or
listen
Guy. It
to
was one of the
show.
Australians. Super good gimmick. Yes, I agree. They talked a lot about how that did change the experience, and it seemed like it just sort of heightened everything.
Can I hit
Yeah.
you all with a milestone?
Yes, please.
We have made it 10 minutes into Till Death Do Us Blart 2016. and they got all quiet, and it sounded like a sign off, like because they were saying their names, all into the ether.
Yeah.
Intros sounded like a sign off.
We have reached that.
And then Justin wished they were done.
He did.
That's like actually a very common theme throughout the entire thing, because also, if like, let's go from the beginning to the end, but still relating to the beginning. They already wanted to leave the podcast in the beginning, and then at the end they weren't even talking about the podcast or Paul Blart because they couldn't anymore. There were things to say, but they couldn't say them because they needed a break. I think here's an idea for them, and they need to hear this. Include an intermission in the middle of the podcast, just some light music. Add some snacks in there, some celery or something.
To the point of what you guys, since we're speaking directly to the people who make Till Death Do Us Blart during this part of our podcast, you guys talked a lot about how you didn't want to edit 1 second of that podcast. Don't edit the intermission part. Like, turn the music on through some sort of virtual audio cable, and just get up, take a pee.
Come in with your pants off.
Come in with your pants off.
Or just like.
That's
just
fine
like play
too.
it out
like
loud into your microphone.
At our middle
like,
school, they would play it into the phone speaker, and then through the phone or into the phone microphone, the like desktop phone microphone, and then through that over the PA, and it was just like shitty, low quality pop music played through like 7 different microphones. Was really bad.
That's how we should record.
Do that. That's how we should do this podcast. So I'm Alex. I'm gonna put your AirPod up to my mic and. Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I have something to say. So they were all judging Paul Blart for his wife leaving him because of the vomiting, but that to me just shows a lack of self discovery or
a lack of empathy for Blart.
Yeah, and I also or to me maybe they're superhuman because
I was confused. I think was Blart the vomiting one or his wife?
And then she left.
But I feel like none of them have ever vomited.
The marriage didn't sit well with his guts. What pointed out to me is
Griffin has irritable bowel syndrome. We know from,
but that's through the other end. That's not the mouth end.
And he also didn't clarify that as part of his fucking ethos on this podcast. So,
right, since that wasn't mentioned in the text of the podcast, I think maybe we should set that one aside.
Yeah, it's not part of the logical progression of the whole piece.
Yeah,
so
that's part of the lore, the world.
So, like, we can talk about it, we can mention it, but I don't want to use it to review that podcast episode.
It's outside knowledge.
I want to make sure that we're reviewing this.
It is all connected, though.
It's all totally connected, but that's just like everything. And I'm saying if someone listens to this,
it's not being canonized in Paul Blart.
I want this to be is like if someone's on the fence about whether or not to take the time to listen to Paul Blart Mall Cop 2 review podcast Till Death Do Us Blart 2016 episode, they can listen to this to figure out real quick if they might enjoy it.
Real quick, listen to an hour long. Hey, real short.
Yeah, it's real.
Yeah,
a real time saver.
We got this podcast. If you're thinking about watching the Paul Blart review, just if you want, watch this quick review for an hour and a half on your way to work, and then on the way home, listen to Paul Blart.
Just listen to it.
Did you guys, those who saw Paul Blart Mall Cop 2,
have any of us seen Paul Blart Mall Cop 2? I think that's none of us.
I may
none
have.
That's none of us.
Alex might have seen it, but he's not.
Yeah, ask it, and I'll try my best.
Those of you who remember it,
I have seen the second one twice.
You've seen the second one.
I've seen that, right?
Counts precisely.
So let me ask you. Let me hit you with this.
Sorry. I said the wrong words. I've seen the first one twice, and so like 1 + 1 = 2. So like,
does their read on the mean-spirited kind of quality, like the bad character of the main character, like does that comport with your impression of the show?
In Paul Blart 1, he totally is socially inept and rude, and the more I listen to Paul Blart Till Death Do Us Blart fucking review, I do think that the people who do that show are finding this too. there is a lot of high intention behind the movie Paul Blart Mall Cop 2, and it just does not come across in the film. And it like the idea, like the more I think about it, I'm like, it makes perfect sense that Paul Blart is a character that is written to be a hateable asshole. Like, it makes total sense in context of everything I've heard.
It's unfathomable to me in the context of a Hollywood film. Like the Cable Guy had Jim Carrey being crazy and awful, but you had Matthew Broderick as like a calming influence. And it sounds like from a secondary take that that we didn't get a lot of that in the Paul Blart Mall Cop 2.
Everything we are able to say about Paul Blart and Paul Blart Mall Cop 2 for the most part is coming from what information we've been able to gain from the time the McElroy brothers and Tim and Guy took to put all this together. So if we're totally wrong, it's their fault. And also if it's really good, it's because they gave us good information. So none of us have seen Paul Blart Mall Cop 2, but this should be accurate. Kai, you keep on going. I just wanted to connect it to the review. Always connect it back to the review.
Yeah. Okay, I can't do that.
You can't?
I have something.
Okay, you don't have to, Kai. I'm sorry. No, let's back up. I'll connect it back to the review.
No, you're correct. This is a point just about the first film. Which is,
I think you need to make it now because we spent so much time talking about the fact that you have something to say. And so now if there's no payoff on that, it's going to be even worse.
But here's the thing, though. It links back to what Jeff was saying, but which sort of eventually links back to like.
Then it's fine. Then it's perfect. Then what are you worried about?
Okay. Oh yeah, it's just like I want to be concise and not waste anybody's time. You don't need to be concise.
Always link back can mean 1 hour later. I don't.
Let's hear it.
You're fine.
Okay. Are you sure?
Oh, I'm sure.
I am.
Oh, sure. Okay.
I need it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This is so meta that we are actually having a meeting on the air about how we should approach the
next time we're all doing British accents.
Death Do Us Blart 2016.
Okay, so as I was saying, it's
I am 20 minutes into NyQuil. Get it out.
I was going to support your notion there aren't really any supporting characters, and it's getting really hot in here, and I've started bleeding. Got blood nose because of the heat.
I've started bleeding.
But today's like fucking like 44 degrees.
That's cold as shit. Fahrenheit.
No, like with actual measurements, mate.
Whoa. Not with Fahrenheit, Alex, with actual measurements.
Yeah.
I like this kind of wind down groove that
someone's
just
falling
happened.
asleep at this point.
No, yeah, we're just getting tired, and so the nice thing is that I have gotten through about 1.5 pages of notes, and so what's nice is that for as little content is in Paul Blart Mall Cop 2 to be reviewed by Till Death Do Us Blart, there is so much in Till Death Do Us Blart 2016 for us to review.
It's a rich
It's
vein.
a really
it's a
rich.
mine
So if we don't
of
get to everything, like this is only the start. This is the start of a chronicle that we're going to come back to over time.
We have the rest of our lives.
For the rest of our lives.
I got a great quote. The man beast we call Paul Blart. I like that one. There's just so much straight up dookie garbage.
Let's just rate that quote on a scale of 1 to 5. Don't go over 5 because that's douchey. 4.
I'm going to give it a solid 3.
6.
Oh, all of us?
Oh, what?
I
Out of
said
5?
6.
So that was against the rules, so now it has to be
it was just douchey.
That's true.
Who's Aiden's replacement again?
6.
Was that B that I saw? No. Was it that B? No, it was that B. It was that B I saw when I was pollinating.
That's all you said?
I need to pick a different replacement, I feel like, but also the other replacements that we have chosen.
While we're reviewing things about the podcast, how does the widespread use of the word schlubby in regards to Paul Blart make you guys feel? What do you think about that?
I feel like it's
that was
accurate.
used a lot.
Is that something from the film, potentially? Is that something they say in the film? Maybe?
Well, okay, so Kevin James is generally would fall under a category of typecasts that I would consider like the schlubby middle-aged guy. and I think that in Paul Blart you actually have a Kevin James that is pretty well groomed, because he is doing it like this is not like a wild King of Queens Kevin James. This is like a mall cop Kevin James. He's professional, he's on the job, he's ready to defend.
Do you think the word schlubby is something that can be used by people who wouldn't themselves identify as schlubby, or is it one of those like exclusive things?
Is it a smushing of schlumping and chubby?
Maybe, I don't know. I think
schlumpy
it's
and
just
chubby?
I think
Is
it's
that
just
what
more
that
like
is?
general ugh.
Weird.
It's like imagine one of those ASMR slimes walking around. Like, imagine it has to pick up the back end of itself and flop it over the front in order to propel itself forward.
Yep, that's good. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like a
Yeah, that
big,
should be
like a
applied to-
big,
It has-
No,
in
because
big
regards
blob
to
of
Paul Blart.
ASMR honey slime, made by the beautiful pollination bee lady outside my house storm.
So
Guys, what were you gonna say, AJ? I'm sorry.
here's what I'm thinking: is that there seems to be a debate on if schlubby is okay to
Yeah,
say.
really, that's what.
And when I think of the word schlubby, I don't have a specific type of person in mind. Like I could be thinking of something tall, short, skinny, fat, whoever. So I think it's all right for
Yes,
anyone
exactly.
to just
Well, then what
say.
is
Yeah.
Is it a type of movement or a body type?
Yeah, because I think for something to be offensive, I think it has to have a
Yes.
known meaning first. And from this conversation, evidently, at least in this context right here, none of us know what it means.
So it's not like, is it more like scruffy?
Have any of us ever heard the word
I've definitely
outside
heard the word.
in any other media or with any other person?
I say schlubby
to
a
me.
lot.
Okay.
I want to hear about this.
I
Then,
just-
if you say it a lot.
Maybe this is just like a cultural thing. Maybe we just don't have it down here.
Well, maybe Australia has like weird slang for it. Like, is it like a thong over there or something?
Mhm, it's a thong.
Not at all. Those are shoes.
Yeah.
If you're
maybe.
schlubby, you wouldn't want to wear a thong, I guess.
Ooh, a
Is that what you're
store that
saying?
sells shoes over there could be called "It's Not a Thong."
Like, because it's not
Like
fashionable.
it's not
I'm
a thing,
confused.
or like that's not a thong. I don't know.
Or I guess if you're
Workshop.
schlubby, you would wear a thong if it was an Australian thong, because flip flops.
Because they're shoes. Yeah. Yeah.
Are we saying? I think schlubby is like unfashionable,
Just like a
unkempt,
general
Oh,
sense of ew.
unhealthy.
I'm
I think
into it.
unfashionable,
Okay.
and I don't want to.
'Cause it's kind of getting that vibe,
I don't
but,
want to
like-
imply that being typecast as schlubby means that you are any of those things.
Everyone has a potential for schlubby.
Exactly.
Who else?
That's
who
my
else
point.
who else in Hollywood has rocked the schlub?
I'm schlubby a
before?
lot.
Adam Sandler definitely does the schlub for sure. Mm-hmm.
Adam Sandler.
Mm.
What did you guys think of
Die Hard said they said
Yeah.
Bruce Willis in Die Hard was like the schlubby guy.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
So I think isn't he like super muscly? I think that schlubby is not.
So is it like rumpled? Is it like you haven't washed your clothes in a couple days? Like
Yeah, like smelly, bad.
Unkempt.
Yeah.
I think it's just like unkempt. I think it's like unkempt and
Or is it
It's
just a
like
state of
bush
mind?
that hasn't been trimmed?
a bush that hasn't been trimmed is a good sign that you might be
Is it a state of
depressed
mind?
or not have a partner.
that's not true. I
All of
want
my
to
na-
just
my
go. I want to
entire
go on the
neighborhood is
record here.
depressed.
Shaving
I
your
was
pubic
talking about
hair
trimming.
is not
I'm talking about
actually
trimming.
biologically an impairment.
I
Trimming is not
what I meant-
necessarily a positive behavior for your
so-
health. I'm sorry.
Let me just sneak right in the middle of this.
Okay.
I meant
Get in the middle of
outside.
Jeff and I trimming our bush.
I meant outside your home, kind of bush, like tree with the. I didn't.
Oh, okay,
I didn't
trees,
mean-
yeah. What did you guys think? What did you guys think of
Yeah,
Justin's
yeah.
summary?
I thought Justin's summary was fantastic, and it is the only thing that I know about what happened.
It was
in Paul
very
Blart Mall.
concise.
I thought it was hard to parse.
Perhaps too concise.
Oh, definitely hard to parse.
I loved when he said,
Yeah.
"Please
Extra
don't
concise.
interrupt. I don't have long."
I do like
It
that.
did feel longer than 2 minutes.
I think
I'll
he
say that
seemed a bit
much.
tense.
I feel like they went longer.
Yeah.
I didn't like check the numbers to be sure, but
I think 2 minutes is a lot longer than you think it is.
I don't think 2 minutes is longer than I think it is. I don't think you know how long I
long
think
do
2
you
minutes
think
is.
it is,
time
Kyle?
dilation.
How long do you think it is?
Exactly 2 minutes.
They were really
No.
angry about the fact that there was no character consistency. And obviously,
There was.
I
I
can't
did
comment
note that.
on it,
Yeah.
Mm.
That.
but
Yeah.
they were sure exercised about it.
Okay.
There was more in the first film, but not a lot more. From their description, it made it sound like
Okay.
he was completely inconsistent all the time. In the first film, it's just like, from what I remember, because it was 8 years ago, they were just like, every so often there's a scene where like he's an action hero and then he's just back to being a regular mall cop, and it's just like kind of odd.
I think the inconsistency that they're seeing in the second one comes from Paul Blart's character, the way they explain it, and I think that this is maybe we use this as our button on this review. We use this as our last point, and then we can talk more about 100 other things next year. Save your notes.
While I have the
take more.
opportunity-
Absolutely.
While you have an opportunity, while I'm in the middle of making a point, yes, do it.
Yeah, no. Okay, before we completely sign off, while I have the opportunity, how is it regular for someone to get to Australia from I don't know where with a knife and then have it taken away in Australia? I don't know.
I am from
Okay.
Australia.
Because what do you think about that part of the?
I think that airport security is reasonably tight in Australia, probably a bit too tight. But yes, take people's knives away when they get on planes. Yeah,
But
that's a good
they
idea.
took it when he got off.
Don't bring any foreign bees with you.
Yeah, I think that is yeah, that's troubling. That
Okay, so is that something that would happen? I don't know. Often.
I hear like about how like strict your airport security is over there. It's not. It's really like quite brief in Australia and even more so in New Zealand. What we really care about
Hey, you good? Yeah, no, I don't have.
is
any-
like foods and plants and stuff, because we're very much worried about invasive species of plants and stuff coming to Australia and then growing in the ground.
You're
and
not
like
worried about invasive bombs?
yeah, but
or-
like
no, it was. So the dangerous thing was that the knife could have been used to cut open a fruit.
exactly. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Another
Yeah.
great quote from Griffin: "You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, but they bricked all the shots except the banana scene and the old lady."
I think
punch.
Travis said that you miss 100. Was it Travis or one of the other?
Well,
I think
he got
was
it started, and then Griffin really came out with the hot quote.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so here was the button that I wanted to do then. Now that we've talked about the you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Paul Blart Mall Cop 2 puts up a bunch of shots. It does take a bunch of shots and it just misses all of them anyway. Is Griffin's point? And I think that connects to what they see with the inconsistency, which is the this movie. You see Paul Blart Mall Cop 2, and this is what they are analyzing for most of this podcast, I think, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but they are looking at the inconsistencies between Paul Blart's like constant desire for a safe, sheltered life for himself and his daughter or whatever, and then also his absolute reckless abandon with which he treats everything in life, and how like the just like absolutely no, Maya, you're not going to do this or this. It's not safe. It's not like whatever. I'm going to not become and they didn't talk about this in this episode, but I learned in episode 5 about how he apparently was going to become like a member of, like, I don't know, it wasn't like the FBI, I don't think, but it was like some like big important agency and he like turns it down.
It's NSA.
What's
I
up?
think.
Oh,
NSA?
maybe. Yeah, I don't know. That sounds right. So he
Yes.
like really wants a safe life, so he keeps the mall job or whatever. So he can like, presumably, so he can like stay with his family and stay in a safe position, and do his duty or whatever because it's right. But also like he turned down this huge job that would have been so good for his family and whatever, and then he lost his wife possibly because of that. And so the idea that it was reckless to not take the job as opposed to being reckless to take the job, and how people just can't, not even the characters in Paul Blart can parse what he's doing. That's what I think that they are focused on in Till Death Do Us Blart, and I think that that's what they start to uncover in the 2016 episode really hard.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
Sort of the notion that Paul Blart is some sort of unknowable being.
Yes, exactly.
Beyond
That deserves
human comprehension.
punishment.
So
Like, and I think that is the thesis of Till Death Do Us Blart
Yeah.
overall.
Because we don't like what we don't know, and for that he needs to go.
He needs to go.
That was a good one.
For that, but also not just that. I think that that's like the we don't like what we don't know. That's that's how people treat him in the movie, but that's also how they treat the movie Until Death Do Us Blart.
Well, it's also how he treats women.
Whoa. It's also how he treats women. Like, if we don't like them, they need to go. That's fair.
Yeah, no, he does treat people very badly, apparently,
Yeah.
according to this review.
Yeah.
apparently, yeah. I mean, some sort of like otherworldly, like tentacled monster would treat people badly, surely, wouldn't they?
Of course.
I mean, I don't think they would
course.
treat people badly. They just wouldn't have the same like moral systems we do. Like, they can't even comprehend human problems as problems.
Exactly, and such lacks a sort of social understanding.
Yes, exactly. And
But
so I
isn't
think
that
that this is what they're hitting
colonialism
on.
in general? Like that a big, powerful thing that doesn't understand who they're
That's Blartism.
destroying their culture. So Blart kind of stands in for the colonizer, the gentrifier.
I think the idea that he
Yeah.
is written to be an absolutely awful person by the people behind the film, and then the McElroy brothers in Till Death Do Us Blart, along with Tim and Guy, do an excellent job of discussing the fact that he is terrible all the time, but pretty much everyone else in the movie is fucking bringing it with the performance, and that maybe that's the point. But the fact that it's so,
Absolutely.
but the fact that is so inconsistent, and the fact that like Blart's inconsistency is so inconsistent with the rest of the film that then they talk about him being someone who is beyond mortal comprehension and who is the target of the Shadow Man, which is, oh my god, I can't wait to talk about their opinions about the Shadow Man. But I think that we shouldn't.
So they kind of, if you think about how time travel might work, they've seeded future generations with these ideas. So somebody might go back in time and kill the character of Paul Blart in this film.
Like, just like in the writer's room, just like end Paul Blart before Paul start.
Oh, I hope it's on screen. I hope if they're going to go to all the trouble to change history, he literally
Maybe the bird in the
die
piano
on
fight
screen.
in the piano fight scene wins.
Somebody just walks by and shoots him with a gun.
So you're talking about like an end to Deadpool 2 kind of scene.
Yeah.
The Shadow Man plays a bunch of diminished chords on the piano, and it gives the bird extra power.
The bird just doubles in size.
Perhaps the bird is an angel.
It's
it
a
already has
chaos
angel
angel.
wings.
It is a
you know,
chaos
it's sent
angel.
from God.
Bird is an angel.
To destroy Blot.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Hey,
Hey guys.
Is that British
The
Blart?
NyQuil is kicking in. Please release me.
let's wrap this up, you guys. The McElroy brothers on Till Death Do Us Blart mentioned hey guys, we're ending the podcast. The McElroy brothers and Tim and Guy, and oh my god, I'm so sorry, Tim and Guy. I know that I am just doing a terrible job and always saying your names second, and it's just because I know the McElroy brothers better because I listen to more of their shit because there's more of it to listen to. I'm sorry. I have no other ground to stand on. There's you guys in this episode of Till Death Do Us Blart, they mention Paul Blart RPG that they want to play where they can kill Blart, as Jeff said. And I wouldn't have cut that part out. I don't know why I said that, and I'm just getting tired and anxious. Okay. Here we are. They mentioned the Paul Blart RPG. Our friend Ty V and our other friend Scott S put together a Blart RPG. And I don't know if it was in any way a direct response to that point in the podcast episode. I don't know if it was just like a subconscious response to it or whatever.
I think it must be, because what other reference to the Shadow Man would there be?
What do you mean? You think it's a direct reference?
Surely.
Yeah, because the game master is the Shadow Man, and where else would the Shadow Man come and play? It has to be.
I have no idea, but I'm saying that I'm saying that if I had decided to make a Blart RPG based on the fact that I liked the podcast Till Death Do Us Blart, I also would have probably ended up with the fact that the DM was the Shadow Man, even if I never listened to episode 2.
Fair.
I never heard their idea for the RPG. I'm not saying that that's not what happened. I'm just saying that I would like to give Ty and Scott more credit.
How about
Matt.
instead also an
Oh,
idea?
fair, of course.
If they hear this, instead of the DM, can we make it the MM?
That's good.
The
I
Mall
like
Master.
that connection. Why?
Hmm?
The what?
The Mall Master.
Oh, the Mall Master.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, see, that's good. Alex, again, and you weren't here for this because you were busy like taking a final. So fuck you. But we played a Paul Blart RPG. We did call it Ready Player Blart. And there was a whole lot of shadow.
I mean, I wasn't here for this either.
That they talk about on the podcast is the instead of the Dungeon Master. So as good as Mall Master is, I think that there might just be some confusion with the M&M's brand because they're very similar in products. And so,
No, yeah.
yep.
That's
There's also a Mole Master, which is a
Yeah,
city
it's a
in
bad
Dungeons and
idea,
Dragons.
Alex.
So like, it's sort of like connected, sort of like RPG territory. Like,
I didn't say terrible.
No, it's not a terrible idea. Here's my twist. I think there could be at this point, I don't know, maybe 10,000 Shadowmen around the country who've played the Blart RPG, and maybe one of them
sort of like
Oh, yeah, I know
Shadow
what you're
Mario
talking about,
clones.
Yes.
Like how there's like thousands of like Mario clones
there-
running around
just like
chasing
there's
him.
a lot of dungeon masters, there's bound to become a lot of Shadowmen, and one of them
Okay, so not like
might
Mario.
be
Okay.
given the
Oh.
honorary title of the Mall Master, thus ensuring their hegemony over the other shadow persons.
heaven, the ultimate mall.
The New Jerusalem is just a big mall.
This has been Paulidarity forever. Everybody, thank you for being here. I think we have done a nice job reviewing Till Death Do Us Blart 2016. You can, listeners, you can come back next year, a year from now. I think this is going up on Christmas, but I might push it to New Year's Day, depending on how depressed I'm feeling. I'll pick a holiday in the next few days. And
Thick
release it
mood.
then, and then a year from that we will do another one of these also about the 2016 episode of Till Death Do Us Blart, and then another one the year after, and so on until one of us dies and is replaced by someone else, and then the new group of 5 will.
Ooh, predictions. If all 5 of us die, won't that be a wild cast?
That is a prediction.
Wow.
That's a good prediction. It probably would be pretty wild if God and
All
Death
right.
and that bee and Alex, who did you
Wow,
pick?
yeah.
Good God.
You picked God. Did
Yeah.
one of us pick someone else in the line?
I picked Kermit and Barack Obama.
Okay, so
Barack
none of us
Obama and
ended up
Kermit.
picking Alex's. So if one of us dies, like
Kermit the
there is
Frog
no chance for
and
resurrection.
Obama.
Shit.
But see, I can't die because Death doesn't want this spot.
Yeah, no, he'll be here. In a world.
Wait,
with
You'll be
Barack
forced to
Obama.
walk
hold
the
on.
earth.
I found
Bee.
a
You'll be
new
forced
loophole.
to-
I'm my own replacement because I'm the bee.
In a world
Shit.
the
bee
Loophole.
aided.
So because I'm the bee and I was pollinating myself when I left the room.
Ew.
Does that just mean you were jerking off?
No, I just mean I was pollinating all by myself. We discussed earlier the mechanics of pollination. Pollination is not nutting. This is so important.
Okay.
It is not
Making
preparing to
honey
nut
is nut.
either.
Walking around and getting stuff on your
Yeah.
legs.
So that's what I'm
that you
saying.
then
So
share with
I was
other
pollinating
things.
by myself. I was the bee that I saw. I'm a huge narcissist, and
Yeah,
I'm my own replacement.
can't
so if I die, I'm
Pollinate by
coming back to
yourself. A
life.
flower has to be involved.
What? Well,
You can't pollinate by
but
yourself.
there
There has to
wasn't
be like a
another
flower.
bee involved. I was the bee that I saw.
No, you don't need.
So-
No, you don't need any other bees. You need flowers to do it. You need at least the 3 to
I
pollinate.
understand,
This
but
day
what
and
I'm
age,
saying is
you
that there
all
were
the
no
flowers
bees.
Two
are online.
flowers.
Earlier, I said I saw a bee when I went to pollinate. The bee that I saw was me. I was the bee. I went to the bathroom to change my pants. I saw a bee, never went outside because I missed the time in which I had to pollinate for it to work.
I was the
Listen.
bee. The bee was me.
Don't drop the beat because I'm
But where are the flowers involved
selling
in all
free.
this?
And that has been Paulidarity forever.
I'm out here. Listen to me. Hey guys, I'm Aiden Kinsella. You can find me on Twitter at Kinsella Aiden. Jeff, where can people find you on the internet?
Yo, I'm on the internet on Twitter at El Jefe Tacoma. I'm the coach over at Sin Parent Co. If you need a little advice or just a good listener, that's my job. Sinister Parent Company and all my other shows. I love you guys. This is the greatest.
Yeah, I
thing
do a
ever.
bunch of other shows too. We've been going for so long, and Sinister Parent Company is where all of us are. So I'm just gonna say that unless anyone has something very specific they want to plug, Jeff's plug will do a wonderful job for all of us.
I'll probably be releasing my own podcast
Okay.
in the near future called Impossible Friendships or Difficult Friendships. Either one of the two once I decide. So that'll be.
And what's that gonna look like, Alex?
What it's going to be is it's going to be my friend and I. We can have guests too if any of you guys are interested. We write a story and we read the story on the podcast. Afterwards, we discuss the story.
I'm sorry, Alex, this is just not going to be possible. And we haven't talked about this beforehand, but the fact that you just volunteered me to do this podcast with you as your friend who's going to write stories with you, this is not going to work. I don't.
Oh my God! Impossible what?
Friendships or difficult friendships.
Friendships?
Most likely difficult because the idea is you're a dick to the other person once you read the story. Because the analysis can't be nice, otherwise that'd just be too nice. So
I like
It just sounds mean.
I like it.
look, just you'll get the look out for it. I'll make sure Aiden gets it to you guys.
I'll make sure that I get it to you
Nice.
guys since I'm apparently on it every week. And I have no choice. No, I don't know that. I don't know.
AJ.
All right. Hi, I'm AJ. You can find me on Twitter at AJ_Generos. That's GANAROS. You can also find me on Straight Off the Top of My Headlines with Aiden. We co-host that shit. And also, I just want to plug something real cool because it just happened recently. I was on an episode of The Paranormal Burrito with the host Caleb, and we talked about ghosts and aliens and psychic shit, and it was really cool, and you should
They
check
record
it out.
every episode from inside a Chipotle. You get that
Hell yeah.
that choice fast casual fucking like just pop music from like 7 years ago because it's cheaper and
Yes. Every single burrito is haunted.
Well, it's more
Can't say the
paranormal
same
that
for
way.
burrito bowls.
I love a burrito bowl.
It's very good.
No, imagine though if you were a discontinued product at Chipotle and you had unfinished
That's
business.
fair. I'm
That'd be
actually
rough.
fuck. I feel like I should change my replacement to be fucking. What was that meat that they don't serve there anymore?
I don't know. Kai's next.
Guys next.
Yes, you can find me on Twitter at It's Me Kai. Kai is spelled Kye. It's arguably spelled incorrectly. But yeah, I also do a whole bunch of other podcasts. I'm sure there'll be links to all of those below. Below
In the
what?
didgeridoo.
Just
In the
it's
notes.
well, I see. I won't be able to fit
notes,
enough links in the notes
Yeah.
for that to work because of how
Well,
iTunes is. So
Kai is on Crit Chat, Shattered Worlds RPG, a whole bunch of other great stuff. Kai is the best. Brothers in Time.
Exactly.
Fucking that other one that's also very good.
I guess Jeff done my sign up for me.
Beyond Between Scorch and Shade, is that what it's called?
That's been on hiatus for a
Jeff
while,
is
but
just
yes, that's the
struggling
one.
to like
It was
rein
good.
himself in.
It
He
was
took
good.
a lot of NyQuil. And
Hey, that's the wrong person. Sup?
AJ, you sound awake. What do you mean it's the wrong person? Hey, everybody, this was so fucking enjoyable. Thank you for doing this with me. All right. Well, I mean, with that, and with I suppose a lot of appreciation for Till Death Do Us Blart and for everything that the McElroy brothers and Tim and Guy do. Thanks for doing comedy and making people happy and putting good shit into the world. Thanks for inspiring people.
Thanks for being better than Paul Blart Mall Cop 2.
Yeah, thanks for being a podcast that's better than the thing it's about. We're not going to live up to that, unfortunately. But
Yeah.
I don't know. We managed to talk for a really
us
long
time.
time, and that's
Give it
usually the
time.
measure of quality.
Hell yeah.
All right, guys. I love you.
Love you too.
Take care.
This is Barack Hussein Obama. Jeff has died, and I'll be on next season of...
And
This is
What's the show
slander.
called?
This is absolute slander.
I can't remember the name of
That's right.
You can't just
I am
drop
Barack.
out like this.
That is not Barack over there.
I am Barack Obama.
Over there is Barack Obama.
Over there.
And, he's in the room with me.
Barack
right now.
Obama.
We're both Barack Obama.
As long as you have a lot of in there, it's Obama.
We were
We
Malia
as,
and Sasha, and as we
people.
grew up, we got deeper voices, and we both go by Obama because it's our last name.
We stand in Paulidarity and goodbye.
Not today, life.
This episode is really interesting too because it just sort of ends.